There are two things that you have that nobody can ever take away from you, no matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your personal life, no matter who is disrespecting you, whether you're going through a breakup, a financial crisis, you're losing friends, whatever. These two things are free and they are accessible to you at all times. And they are your discernment and your intuition. And the reason why these two things are so fucking powerful is because they are going to be what guides you through every phase of your life and keep bringing you back to yourself, the path that you are on, the mission that you are here to complete, and the contract that you are here to fulfill in this lifetime. There is so much external noise at the minute. We are going through a time of mass awakening. There is a huge shift in consciousness happening. Illusions are being shattered. More people than ever are opening their eyes to the reality of what is happening on this planet and where they have been ignoring and avoiding things that can no longer be avoided. And right now you have access to more information than ever before. And I say information in quote marks because there is a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of opinions and false facts put out there. Most of it here to divide us and to separate us from one another and to separate us from self. And with all this information that's being put out into the collective at the minute, it can be hard to decipher what is true and what is not. And that's why it's so important right now to keep your channel as clear as ever, because only you can decide what feels true for you. Only you can decide what resonates with you, where in your body you feel like, that speaks true for me, or no, that doesn't speak true for me. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to choose not to take that on. Everything that you consume either has a positive or a negative effect on you. And I'm not saying don't keep up to date with what is going on in the world, because I think it is important to be informed. But what's more important is being able to ground into your body and come back to yourself over and over again. There's a quote that a lot of people use, knowledge is power. I disagree. Knowledge is power until a certain point. But then what you do with that knowledge determines how powerful you are as a person. If you are consuming and taking in so much information and it's making you fearful, it's making you anxious, it's making you lose faith, this is where you need to use your discernment and ask yourself, is this serving me? Once you know something, you don't need to keep investigating it more and more and more. Once there is a truth that you have found, and you feel in your body, yes, I know this to be true, you do not need to keep going down rabbit holes and collecting more and more information to justify this truth. This truth is already set for you. There is a lot of dark energy and entities attached to documents and information out there on social media. And if you are not careful, if you do not keep your channel clear enough to know, I have consumed enough of this now, I am going to move forward, those entities will attach themselves onto you. And what happens when that happens is you become a more fearful human. You're vibrating at a lower frequency. You're easier to manipulate. You're easier to control. You're coming from a place of scarcity, from lack, and that's going to ripple out into everything that you do. Into your family, into your interactions with friends, into the work and the message that you've put out there. I'm going to be really honest with you. Last week, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole myself and I consumed dark information that's out there. And what's interesting, it was information that I already knew, okay? I read about all of this stuff years ago and I allowed myself to go there again. And it was just like feeding a demon. It was feeding a parasite. Because I already knew this darkness existed. And then I just kept reading more and more and more about it because it's so easy, right? Your algorithm just catches you and it's in the collective and everyone's talking about it. Now, I'm not saying don't talk about it, don't bring it into awareness. If you're moving through something, like part of an awakening is going through that darkness and into the light. That's how we wake up to things. That's how the collective wakes up. But don't stay in the darkness. It's going to be very tempting to do so because our brains latch onto that information and want more. But when I did this, I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia. The message that I'm here to share, whereas usually I'm shit hot on social media, it was cloudy. My message was diluted. I wasn't really sure what I was here to say. I've been doing 10,000 steps a day. I noticed I was averaging like 5,000 steps a day because I wasn't using my discernment strong enough of, I don't need to see this anymore. I know enough. I know what is true, but I let it affect my channel, my body, my spirit. Now, if I wasn't really boundaried with myself and pulled myself out of that pretty quickly, and I allow myself to go down that spiral of not exercising, not sleeping, being very in my mind more than my body, can you see how long term that is going to wear you down, make you more vulnerable, make you weaker? The reason why your discernment is the most powerful tool that you have is because no one can tell you it. It doesn't matter if you watch all of my YouTube videos, if you read every book under the sun, if you listen to every podcast, no one is fully going to be able to tell you the right path for you, the next step for you to take, what is right for your body. Only you can do that by tuning in, following the whispers of your gut, keeping your discernment razor sharp so that you don't have to dwell on things over and over again. Is this right for me? Is this wrong for me? Oh, I'm not sure. Let me analyze another 10 pieces of information. The clearer your channel, the more that you are looking after yourself, you're eating clean, you're going for your walk, you're doing your yoga or whatever exercise you do, you're keeping your mind clear, you're boundaried with your social media. If you don't have to be on social media for a reason, why the fuck are you on it? If you are not creating, delete it. It can become a parasite that just takes your energy. If I wasn't a content creator, I would delete that thing. I would not be on it. The earth that we are here to create, the shift in consciousness that we are contributing to, can only happen if you stay grounded in who you are as a person. I remember when I first started out social media, I was like, I want to be a content creator. I want to build a platform. I know I have a message to share. I did so many business courses. I worked with business mentors. I did all of this social media strategy courses, masterclasses, whatever. I consumed so much information and I wasn't growing. I didn't grow. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what the fuck is going on? The second I scrapped all of it, I just said, you know what, I'm going to let go of all of this information, everything that I've ever been told, and I'm just going to tune into myself and say what I want to say. I blew up my social media from 500 to 100,000 in less than 6 months because it didn't matter what was working for everyone else. It wasn't my path. It wasn't what was true for me. It wasn't my message. Now I see it's because I am here to show people that there is a different way to do it. I am here because my message purely is around self-trust and intuition and discernment. And so I had to walk that path and have that lived experience so that I can now talk about it so openly and create content around it. But the more that you consume and you try and do what other people are doing, even if it doesn't feel quite right for you, or you don't have that awareness of, does it feel right for me? The longer that you are going to be disconnected from the mission that you are here to serve. There is no one truth. There is no universal truth. We all have our own individual truths, and that truth can only become apparent to you and be solidified and cemented into your being if you are grounded and present in your physical body, checking in with yourself on a daily basis, asking your body how it feels, speaking to your womb and to your pussy. Is she expanding or is she contracting? Anything that is removing you further away and distracting you from the core truth that you know what is best for you and no one can tell you otherwise is an energy vampire, is a parasite, whatever you want to call it. So you need to be getting really fucking clear with yourself and honest with yourself. As I'm saying this, I know for a fact you know the things that are not serving you, whether it's the junk food, whether it's the shitty person that you're having sex with that you don't even really like, whether it's the friends that are gossiping and not supporting you, whether it's the family member that constantly crosses your boundaries, whether it's your own habits, spending too much time on social media, watching crime documentaries, listening to murder podcasts, anything that instills fear, negativity, anxiety, long term is clouding your vessel, and you're not good to anybody in those states. You can fall into a trap, especially when there's shit going on in the world, thinking, oh, I need to read more, I need to consume more, because then I'll feel like I'm actively contributing to what is happening. You're not. You consuming more and more and more isn't helping anybody. I'm going to be really brutally fucking honest with you. The best thing that you can do for yourself is be informed. You know, if you're on my channel, I am all for feminine rage, but don't stay there. Your anger serves a purpose when you are taking action, but when you are consistently in a state of anger, you are poisoning yourself. When you are consistently in a place of hate, you are poisoning yourself. You are allowed to feel good, even if there's shit going on in the world. You are allowed to still want to manifest your dream goals and to share positivity and to share love and to share your message. And it's so interesting that we become a reflection of what we consume. This past week, while my mind was in like a bit of a dark place and I wasn't sleeping, I was creating a lot of content that was coming from this place. And I'm absolutely glad that I put it out there. It resonated with a lot of people. But last night I had a realization, like, a huge part of my content is bringing humor and playfulness to spirituality and the shit that we face. And last night I was like, I haven't cracked a joke in my content for a good week or so. And I woke up this morning and I had a comment from somebody saying, babe, where's your funny posts? They've helped me through some really dark days. And it just really reminded me, like, I'm allowed to still bring lightness to this world. And you are too. We all have different missions on this planet. Some people, it is to expose and do some more of the darker work for the collective. But if that is not you, and it's bogging you down, and it's confusing you, and it's making you question yourself and question what you're here to do, I want you to be using your discernment, sharpening that blade, and slicing through anything that is disconnecting you from yourself. That is hands down, categorically, the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself. And if it's the most powerful thing you can do for yourself, it's the most powerful thing that you can do for humanity. A woman who is firmly grounded in her intuition, in her body, in her discernment, and is not easily swayed by what is happening, is the most powerful fucking woman there is. And your ability to put these two superpowers that you have infinite access to above everything and everyone and all the information that's out there is what brings you closer to God, to spirit, to nature, to your loved ones, and most importantly to yourself.